My name is Sean. I am a member of the Central Iowa 9/11 Truth. My thoughts about 9/11 revolve around the war in Afghanistan, the war in Iraq. 9/11 was a new Pearl Harbor, as the Project for a New American Century had said. And it has brought us these illegal, unnecessary wars. 9/11 has eviscerated the Fourth Amendment. You no longer have the Fourth Amendment in the Constitution of the United States. 9/11 has produced the Patriot Act, the Military Commissions Act. It's revamped the FISA Act, which again is part of the Fourth Amendment. And those are my thoughts. 9/11, the truth of 9/11, will set us free. It will bring back the rule of law, which is no longer in the United States. We don't have the rule of law anymore. So I'm involving myself in this to get back my country. I want my country back. I want the rule of law back. We don't have it now. I involve myself in this movement because the fact is that the government cannot give me a credible scientific piece of evidence to support its theory about what happened on 9/11. I can give you, in common, ordinary, everyday sense, pieces of scientific evidence that shows that the buildings on, especially building number 7, was brought down by controlled demolition. So we haven't been told the truth. Who is responsible? I don't know, but I know that the government's theory is nonsense. And so I'm involving myself in this to get to the truth, to bring back the rule of law, to get my country back. I served my country in Vietnam, or maybe I did a disservice by being there, but I want my country back. I want the rule of law enforced. And that's why I'm doing it, and that's why I'm speaking here. Just look at the facts. All I ask people to do is please just look at the facts. Okay, thanks.
Well, I didn't know anything about 9/11 in the beginning, and I just met a new friend out of another state, and they got to tell me things about it, and I absolutely had bought the whole official story hook, line, and sinker, and it really disturbed me what they told me about a controlled demolition or something. So then I bought a DVD from a guy down in Joplin, Missouri called Revisited, and called him up on the phone, Dustin Mugford at the time, and I seen Building 7 fall, and I just knew from that point on. And I'm in the 9/11 Truth Group because I think people need to be woke up to how we're being represented and what the real forces are that's going on in our country, then how the media is not representing us and not even looking into it. And I feel like there's just so much wool pulled over our eyes that that to me is so important for everybody to not just be asleep.
I feel it's important to be part of the 9/11 group because I think the truth needs to be heard. I bought the official story, and I think that the official story is the actual conspiracy theory here. Anybody that watched those buildings come down in free fall form will know that it was an inside job, and that's just the tip of the iceberg. I think people need to be aware. They need to take the time and relook the story that we were sold. It's important. It has to do with who's running the country. They're chipping away at our civil liberties. The Patriot Act now takes away some of those civil liberties, where they can come into our home, they can accuse us of being terrorists just for being in possession of some of these tapes and wanting to get the truth out there. We must stop what is going on before everything has been taken away that our forefathers fought for in the Constitution. It's our right to question our government and not believe everything that we're told. Thank you.
My name is Carla Hansen, and I'm very honored to be able to talk about 9/11 and why I believe it's the biggest crime in history that has never had a criminal investigation. My outside job, normally I'm a therapist. On the other 4 days of the week, I'm a peace activist. And I have a unique opportunity because I am married to an Iranian and I am a dual citizen of Iran. 7 weeks early last year, I visited Iran. And I knew that just over the border from the Kurdish village that I was staying in, they were bombing Afghanistan. Wedding ceremonies and engagement ceremonies just like the one that I had been part of. So this documentary was produced with that in mind, and I believe that 9/11 was used as the pretext for all of those wars in the Middle East. And I'm very, very worried that the next cut and paste formula for bombing, for making war, is going to be against Iran. You know, inside this DVD, because I feel so strongly about 9/11 and the fact that we have really no evidence. I visited the 9/11 site in New York City. We have no evidence of what really happened. Our country and our government, which I'm not sure that American people can get their arms around it, but truly, the big terror after 9/11 and the lies about the weapons of mass destruction led us into the war on Iraq and now the war on terror in Afghanistan. So inside this movie, I talk about how following 9/11, the distorted media allowed America to do something that I call to-wooting in the movie. That is the way American public are manipulated into supporting these ongoing wars and militarism around the globe by to-wooting, terrorizing ourselves with our own thinking. And that's the reason that I produced this movie, to bring light to the truth, and that's why I also support the 9/11 truth and why I'm here today.
The reason I am interested in the 9/11 truth is basically what I observed the very first day it happened, and I've felt this ever since. It's impossible to, if you know anything about chemistry and about heat of kerosene, which is basically jet fuel, it's impossible for it to melt steel and bring a building down. I'd like to read one quote from, in this regard, from Major General Albert Stubblebine. He's a member of the Military Intelligence Hall of Fame. He's written a lot about it, but just one short paragraph. When you look at the temperatures that you create with a fuel in a gas tank or a fuel tank of an airplane, and then you investigate the amount of heat that would be required to melt the superstructure of a building that came tumbling down, when you put all that together, the one thing it shows, it does not match the facts. What is it that they do not want the public to know? So that was a motivating factor. And if you Google 9/11, Patriots 9/11, there's almost 3,000 people in this country and other countries too that say that we need a new 9/11 investigation and get to the bottom of this. Former President Mondale believes this. Former commission member Robert Carey, who was on the commission, also believes there needs to be a new 9/11 investigation. That's my reason for being involved.